Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Do we have audio? So, do my under eyes really look this dry as they do on screen? This is what happens when you don't do makeup for 5 or 6 years. That's what it has felt like since I've done a makeup video. So I don't even know if this is going to be a makeup video. I think I just want to chat with y'all. There is a new makeup product in the mix in my house that I'm really excited about. Let's just talk about what's happening over here thus far. I do have base products on. Hi, how y'all doing? My name is Veronica. Welcome to the channel. If you are new, for my returning folks, how y'all doing? It has been a long time since I have filmed a video for this channel. Forgive me. I'll tell you a little bit about the why part of that, although you have seen me posting on the other channel, the fragrance channel, quite frequently because I have anyway, I won't get into all the why of that. I haven't posted over here in a long time. So base products. I did do a little bit of like illuminating primer, the Natasha Denona High Gen. Let me show y'all what that is. Hold on. This one, which remains a holy grail for me, the High Gen Skin Glass Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum. Super long name. You see it has a little bit of like a pearlescent tone. So I put that on first underneath. I could do a primer and this, but I really just use this as the primer. I've got a lot of base product on in terms of like moisturizer. Every day, every single day, I do an essence on my skin, then a serum, and then a moisturizer. And then I repeat the process at night after I wash off whatever I have on for the day. I'll put like 3 products on. So all of that to say that my skin is juicy, and this adds a little bit more juiciness to it, but it's my favorite sort of illuminator and it's from Natasha Denona. And then I used an oldie but a goodie for my foundation. I don't even know if this is sold anymore. This is from Pure, and this is the 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Long Wear Foundation and Concealer. I have to be careful with this because it is thick. It's full coverage. And so what I did, instead of pumping it out, you can actually use this as a concealer too. It has a concealer thing on it. So I take this and then I dab it. Well, that's what I did today. And I used a very light amount of foundation. You can still see the texture on my pores and all of that, but I did want some coverage. The problem here is that, well, my body is all kinds of different. Oh my God, look at this. This is like a cool tone color here on my arms. Then should I even be filming right now? This looks golden. So I'm just going to film with my arms down like that. Oh, things are looking a little crazy here. Let me zip up so you don't see as much paleness. Maybe I need a little. This is chaotic. This is total chaos. Hi, my name is Veronica and I live in chaos. Let's bronze up here. Maybe I need to bronze up my arms. Hold on, stay focused. So this is in MG7, which is medium golden 7, which is okay, but I do feel like my actual face underneath it all, there's a story. Did y'all know that Shakira, she was told that she could not sing? And she almost didn't have a career, but she kept pushing on. She was told by some, I don't know, it was like a teacher or I don't know, some producer or whatever, told her she couldn't sing. And she kind of can't sing, but that's the appeal of Shakira. She's got this kind of crazy voice. It just works for her. And we're here for it. I'm a big Shakira fan. I think she is a cutie patootie. How did I get off on that? Underneath it all, underneath this foundation, the skin on my face, because I self-tanned yesterday, is actually more warm toasty than this color would lead you to believe. This is golden. Like my face is more like a shade darker than my hand. Don't ask me what happened here with this. Maybe I need to change clothes because I'm supposed to be filming later and I can't be filming with like 2 different colors tone. Can I? Do you think anybody would notice? So that's what's on my face. And then I used as a concealer the Huda Beauty. I probably should just say Huda. I don't know where I got Huda from. I know where I got Huda from. I do know. Mel Thompson, may she rest in peace, who was a YouTuber here, did makeup, loved her channel. She was amazing makeup artist. I learned so much from her. She would call her Huda. So I was like, she must be right because she knows what she's doing because she is a makeup YouTuber. Therefore, she knows, right? Right. So I started calling Huda, but maybe it is Huda. I don't know. Anyway, this is what kind of concealer are you? The Faux Filter Concealer in the color Granola 4.5 golden. So that's what's under my eyes. I did a little tiny bit of powder. Maybe I shouldn't have, because you see how it looks all creasy and whatever. Y'all, I know how to do makeup, but like I'm rusty, so forgive me. The Flower, remember this? Flower Beauty. Is this even sold anymore? Is this still in business? And this is a powder, Light Illusion Perfecting Powder in Soft Sand, medium 2-3. Medium 2-3. And then I did my eyebrows with the Precisely My Brow from Benefit, which is one of my holy grail eyebrow pencils. Y'all, I haven't done my eyebrows in so long. I forgot they could even kind of sort of look this full. I'm no eyebrow expert. I never have been. I don't pretend to be. You can leave your tips down in the comments if you want to, but the chances are I'm going to still do them like this anyway, because I'm stubborn about how I do my eyebrows, even though I complain about them. And this is in the color 3.75. Finally, the other base product I have is from good old Scott Barnes, and this is his contour palette. Y'all, I don't care what skin tone you are, from the palest of the pale to the deepest of the deep. He's got you if you're pale on this end, and if you're deep, it goes as dark as that. And I use like a combination of this, and I think this one. Oh, no, maybe that one and that one. Just kind of use this, right? And to do a little bit of contouring and bronzing together to give my face a little bit more shape than it currently has. And that's what's going on with my face right now. But what I really wanted to show y'all, what I've been so happy that I ordered, because I haven't, friends, I'm about to tell y'all a lie. I was going to say I haven't ordered makeup in a long time, but that's actually not the truth. I have ordered lipsticks because I've been on a lipstick kick. Do I need to be? No, I kid you not, probably over 100 lipsticks. I haven't counted, but a ridiculous number of lipsticks, considering that I have 2 tiny lips and will never be able to use all that lipstick in a lifetime. But like, there's always like that tiny variation in shade, just a little itty bitty variation that you really want. And so you need that other one. And then maybe this one is matte and that one is glossy. And maybe this one is like semi matte or semi gloss, all the variations on the theme. Oh my gosh. Some are opaque, some are translucent. I mean, a girl's got to have it all. So I haven't purchased much makeup aside from lipsticks. But when I saw this palette, I had to consult with one of my good YouTube friends here. Hey girl, hey, you know who you are. And I was like, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not, but I am going to buy it. So we had a little chat about it, and she was like, wisely so, girl, you have all of these colors in your other palettes. And I'm like, yeah, I know, you're right. And then my finger found its way to the Sephora website, and like a Ouija board took over my finger, like that whole, like whatever happens there, and it added it to cart, and it ended up at my house. So what I'm talking about is the Natasha Denona Golden Palette. Oh my God. This is not a video comparing this to the original gold palette that she had, which is gorgeous. Do I have it in here? It might be, let me see if I have it in here. Hang on. No, I do not have the gold palette here. I have it over in my bathroom, in my bedroom. I'm not comparing these. In fact, I would urge you to go look at, did she compare it in hers? I haven't even watched her video. Alicia Archer. I love me some Alicia. I haven't even watched her channel in so long, but when I do watch her, I love her. Alicia. She's amazing. Amazing. And she does like the best comparison videos with swatches and all that. I'm not that girl. I'm just not that organized. But I bet you, I saw a video where she talks about this, and I bet you she compared it to the gold there. So I'm going to go watch that video another time. Love the packaging. I don't love that it's a fingerprint magnet. See what happened already? But wait till y'all see this. I saw it in the ads, and I thought, my friend is right. We have these colors. I don't need this. But like I said, a Ouija board took over my fingers. Look at this beauty. Look at it. I have not dug into this. And so I want to do a little tiny mini swatch just on the back of my hands for y'all, so we can see what this looks like. And then I want to dig in, and I want to tell y'all about my recent work and travel adventures, because there have been a lot. So let me go row by row. I'm going to do the top row. Actually, I'm going to go this direction, then that direction. I'll be right back. All right, folks. So one of my best favorite things about a new palette is just literally, first of all, looking at the pans in the palette when they have not been swatched, like just the beauty of like the pressed palette. Y'all, it does something for me. I don't know. And then that first swatch. So I have now dug into the shades, and so it's no longer in perfect shape. And I love that first swatch that's so creamy. Like this one here was like this cool creamy touch. Oh, these One thing about Natasha Denona shadows, the mattes are like buttery smooth. They're like butter for the most part. There are some exceptions in some palettes that are just like, that was maybe a little dustier than I wanted. But by and large, across her palettes, her matte formula is to die for. And her shimmers are typically nice and foiled, and they're very just sort of smooth. They remind me almost of like, did y'all ever do like decoupage and things like that? Where you got the almost like a liquid gold in a little jar and you would dip your little you would dip your little brush in there and then swatch that, and like all the little gold flakes just came together in like a smooth line. That's what I feel about her shadows. And so here they are in all of their glory, and I like them. These are beautiful. I'm gonna tell you right now, this color here, which is the middle one here, reminds me very much of, do you all remember the Honey palette from Urban Decay that had these sort of brown tones in them, and it had this very sort of pronounced, almost like a golden yellow metallic foil type of thing? That's what that reminds me of. I love the mattes. The mattes are right up my alley here. I even like these lighter shades for like your brow bones and that sort of thing. So this is really, I'm loving this right now. It almost looks like an animal print, doesn't it? So on swatch, these get a big thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and do a look because I'm going to be filming right after I finish chatting with y'all. So, some other videos, and I'll film some other videos. So let's get to that. Okay, so let's get to talking about this thing called life. Who's a Prince fan? Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word life, and that means forever. And that's a mighty long time, but I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. Anyway, I am a Prince fan, but I'm not a fan of him as a human. Like, I heard all this stuff about his marriage and how he treated his wife, Maite. Is that her name? She was on that show, one of those little Hollywood wife type of shows. I forget what it was called. And she was on there with Eddie Murphy's wife. Y'all remember this? Anybody watch that show? What the heck is it called? Now I got to look it up. Hang on. Oh my God, it's called Hollywood Exes, and it was Nicole Murphy. Nicole is a model, freaking gorgeous woman. She was married to Eddie Murphy. Andrea, or is it Andrea? I don't remember, but she was married to R. Kelly. Oh my God, her story. And then Maite, Maite Garcia, married to Prince. And I forgot who was Sheree married to? Sheree? I don't know. I don't remember. But I watched Hollywood Exes for a little bit of time. Ooh, Jessica Canseco. Oh my God, remember that? She was married to Jose Canseco. Why am I bringing that up? Prince. And the way that he treated Maite, the stories that she told about him on that show, I was like, I know we love Prince because he's an icon. I mean, his music is amazing. Amazing. Love me some Prince music. But Prince the human, I'll pass on that. I'm going to use this, what is it called? Milko? Emliko, MLIKO, this one here, as a little bit of brow bone. In fact, I'm just going to use no, I'm not. I'm going to use a brush to do that. So this thing called life, electric word life. So y'all, I've been going through it, like getting, my sea legs with some things at work. We've been working on, I don't talk a lot about work because what I do for a living is very, very complicated and hard to describe to people. And anytime I describe it, people are just confused about what I do. So like, I don't even try. 1, 2, my coworkers didn't ask to be part of my YouTube journey. So like, I don't want to say something that would expose, where I work and ever create any sort of awkwardness for my colleagues in any way, shape or form. 2 completely different worlds. Like, let's just say that what I do on YouTube as a hobby, it couldn't be farther and away from and so completely different from what I do in my day-to-day stuff. I'll just say I do some fairly, intellectual work that's just super complicated to describe. It's kind of sometimes very technical and sometimes, anyway, here I go trying to explain it. But anyway, at work, we've been working on some funding proposals that have all but like consumed my life over the past month and a half, 2 months. Not only because I am writing a really massive proposal myself, but I'm helping other teams with their proposals. And one in particular that I'm sort of like helping like serve as an advisor to, or something similar to that, like that kind of a role. And it's been the kind of thing, in addition to the project work that I do, I serve on several projects. in some pretty sort of senior roles on those projects. And they can be all consuming because the accountability, the responsibility, the quality assurance for that work falls to me and to some other leaders in the organization and that kind of a thing. I take my job, my day-to-day day job, incredibly seriously. Like, I don't play when it comes to work. I bring it. I try to do the best that I can. I'm not always perfect. Neither are the people that I work with, but I work with some very dedicated, highly intelligent humans who want to make a difference in this world and want to do their work well. And therefore, like, we all do our best to show up for each other and do the best work that we can as a team. So sometimes that means, because of the kind of role that I hold, which is kind of senior, like I mentioned, I sometimes am accountable for working long hours. Sometimes that means working into the evening. Sometimes that means working early mornings. Sometimes that means working on the weekends. And then there are certain stretches, like the stretch that we're in, where you're constantly doing that, like your morning, night, weekend. And I know what some folks would say, work is just not that serious. You shouldn't let work take over like that. I hear you. Let me pause for a second to say, I would like to go into this shade here called teak. This is such a beautiful neutral brown with like a hint of warmth. I agree. You should not let work take over your life, and you should absolutely, absolutely work toward a work-life balance, meaning that what you do in your time off of work, you should value and appreciate just as much as your work life. However, I also am and always have been the kind of person that I dedicate myself to my work and my family and friends, the ones that have been loyal and true for forever, and hobbies and things like that. And I give them all, I don't downplay work in favor of others, I guess is the way that I would put it. Because the way I see it, I am working a minimum of 8 hours a day. One, I better like what I'm doing as a job. And two, that represents such a big part of my life's work. Like, how can I not give it value and pay attention to it and give it my all? There's limits, of course. And I do believe in the philosophy that everyone is replaceable. So, don't ever think that work is so important that you should drive yourself into the ground for it. It's a balance, and it's different for every person. And where I'm going with this is that there are times that I willingly and knowingly, and with respect and admiration for the work that I do and the work that my peers do, put my all into it. Understanding that for that time period, there are other things that are maybe going to not be as important, while I pay attention to the quality and commitment and dedication and volume of work that I'm pumping out from my day to day, right? And then there are other times, of course, that other things take first row billing, that they're more important than work. But it's all a balance. It's all a balance. And I do value the work that I do. I bring that up to say that I have been immersed in work very deeply and very heavily for the past maybe 4, 6, 8 weeks, something like that, in ways that I'm normally not, that I don't allow, because I do try to, push away from my desk at 6-ish at the latest. I work from home, so I also have to be really careful about those boundaries and making sure that I'm not sitting at my desk 9 o'clock at night every night. We do have kids. I have a husband. He has the same kind of demands on his job too. We both work really demanding jobs that we enjoy. We like our colleagues. We, like I said, all the things I said about work, he feels that too and believes that too. And so there are days that he has to work until 9 some nights. And so I take up the slack and I make dinner those nights and I hang out with the kids and I go do groceries and take care of household things. And then there's other times that he steps into that role on my behalf, as he knows that I'm stressed out and those kinds of things. Again, all of that to say that it has been one of those times. And in this particular instance, I have had to be careful about my own personal health, like monitoring how the work that I'm doing affects my physical health. Pause. I'm going to go ahead and go into this one called Log. I think, is that a repeat shade for Natasha Denona? I'm not sure, but I feel like I've seen another Log in another palette somewhere. Maybe not one of hers, but another brown one called Log or Twig or something like that. And I'm going to line the lower lash line and maybe do some in here, and then I'll come back and do it again later. So I've had to be careful, and what do I mean by that? There comes a point, not becomes a point. I don't know why I say that. There comes a point where you're working on something, and for me, my eyes start to sort of cross. Like, I can't even see straight anymore because I'm so deep into this document that I'm creating, this argument that I'm making, the rationale of something, the logic model, whatever it is that I'm working on, that my eyes sort of start to cross, literally and figuratively. I mean, like it's like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I have nothing left to give to this today. I must stop. I must stop. It's going to be here tomorrow morning. And look, before y'all come in the comments, because I know if I were you, I'd be saying to the camera, the person I'm watching on the other side, ain't nothing worth your health. You got to step away and get some sleep. You're right. Absolutely. 100%. At the same time, in the role that I play, in some cases, the buck stops with me. And it's the kind of thing where if I don't do it, it does not get done. Or if I don't help a team through a certain like kind of spot, they won't get their work done. And so again, it's all a matter of trying to figure out when to push and pull, when to dive in or pull away so that you maintain your level of balance mentally, spiritually, physically too, because this stuff affects you physically, and figuring out what the balance between that is and the dedication piece. So it's all a sort of very delicate dance, you know, where sometimes you're leaping, sometimes you're the one grounded and other people are using you to lift off, all kinds of like interesting dynamics there with your team and all of that. So I've had to be careful and make sure I am getting sleep. And here's the other thing. I don't know how y'all are. When I get deep into work like that, when I'm working on an intense project, I have to be especially careful that I am looking after my eating and I'm eating properly, because it's nothing to like go grab crap, right? That you can just sort of stuff in your face while you're working. So I have to make the concerted effort to do one of two things: step away, just take the 10 or 15 minutes, step away, go to the kitchen counter. If you don't have time to sit at the table, stand at the kitchen counter, make yourself a proper meal that's going to nourish you instead of drain you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's some meals that just, like, I can't eat a pot of macaroni and cheese. That's going to make me feel sluggish, gross. I'm going to have heartburn. That's not good. Or I could have a small piece of chicken or steak, right, with a little bit of vegetable, and then go back at it. So I have to either step away and make a concerted effort to have that meal, or I have to bring that to the desk with me and give myself time to not think, eat it at the desk, put the plate away, and get to it. So these are just for short stretches. Like, this is not something, by no means would I tell anyone to live like this on a day-to-day all the time. But we do have some crunch periods and some work that we do that just kind of requires that. And thankfully, I work for a company that is very interested in helping our employees stay balanced, and interested in you figuring out, if you give a lot here, maybe take some here so that you can maintain that equilibrium and balance. They're really, really good about that. So a lot of what I'm talking about is self-imposed because of my own standards of quality, my own standards of commitment, and the amount of energy that I want to put into something. It's all sort of in my head, and the code that I live by, like the ethical code that I live by for work, that type of a thing. So all of that to say, it's been hectic the past couple of months. It should get a little bit better here in the next couple of weeks. And I have had some travel, which included 2 back-to-back coast-to-coast trips. So I had the option of actually staying on site in between the 2 trips. I had a 3-day trip out to the West Coast, and then a weekend in between, and another 3-day trip right after that. So like, some folks just decided to stay out there through the weekend. I did not. I did the 3 days, and then I got on a plane, 2 planes, and came back home for the weekend. And I questioned my sanity for a while, thinking, why are you doing all this traveling? Why don't you just stay out there? And so here's the reasons why I went ahead and traveled. For me, it made sense because there's nothing like your own bed to sleep in. And I wanted to do simple things, like I wanted to wash my clothing, you know, change out my suitcase and the outfits. I wanted to feel the comfort of my home. I love being home. I love this house. I love being here. It makes me happy. And that's the least of it. I wanted to see my family. I wanted to see my husband. I wanted to see our kids. It just felt weird to be away from them for that long. I'm in this place in my life where I don't enjoy being away from home. You know, if you had caught me 20 years ago, it would have been nothing to be away from home for, at that point, it would have been 8 or 9 days. No big deal. At this point in my life, that is not where my heart is. My heart is here inside of this adobe. Is that what you call a home, an adobe? Oh, wait a minute. I'm having a moment. Wait a minute. What does adobe mean? What's wrong with me? Abode. Adobe. Y'all, adobe is a type of clay, and it's a little clay house. You can make an adobe house. Abode. I meant to say abode. Am I okay? I think y'all should send help. Anyway, I really wanted to come home, and so I questioned myself, thinking, "Am I crazy?" But the feeling that I got, and I got home. I went Wednesday to Friday, and I got home Friday at like 1:30 in the morning. God, I got through the door at 1:30 a.m. But the feeling that I had coming through my door made it all worth it for me. I was like, "This is why. This is why." That comfort, that like. Adobe. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Abode. That feeling of comfort, and you're home and you can relax and let your hair down. I put my barefoot robes on. One robe, not two robes, not robes. My barefoot robe. And like my body was like, I just felt that comfort, and I was able to wash my clothing, refresh myself, and reset my mind, my soul, my heart, and then go back out on Monday. And I was better on Monday than I would have been had I stayed out there all weekend. And I have no regrets. So now that that is behind me, I have some minimal travel here in June, the month of June, and I'll be home most of the month. And I don't know what the rest of the summer holds in terms of travel, but I can be here for my kids, for my husband, and feel just like grounded and rooted in our routines. The work has been stressful, not going to lie. I think we are in the end stretches of that, like I mentioned, the heavy part of it. And I'll be able to get back to some sort of semblance of normalcy. I mean, that's all up to subjective opinion, whether something is normal or not. But yeah, it's been something else. So let's talk about what I want to do with the inner eye here, the eyelid. I think I'm going to put this on the innermost corner and maybe a little bit under here. And then I think I want to do this color here. It's called Fizzy on the lid. So let's try that first. Let's do Fizzy. This is one of Natasha Denona's best formulas, and it's different from some of the other metallic formulas. This Fizzy formula, it's like lighter. It's almost like a champagne in terms of texture, champagne version of the other metallics, which tend to be chunkier and heavier. This Fizzy is really light and very sort of soft to the touch. So let's just do a little bit. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. Just a little bit of light and shimmer there. So while I do that, the long and short of it is I have been going through it at work. And I am glad that I still have enough gas in the tank to give to my colleagues and the kind of work that we do. It's important to me. I want to show up. I want to be a good colleague. I want to be a contributing colleague. They are too. Like we're all in it together. So it's like this sort of, family feeling about it. And we help each other through. Now I'm turning my attention to what is it that I really want to focus on for the summer. I kind of have these sort of seasonal goals. I don't know what mine are. Do you have sort of summer goals? Do you do that with yourself, or you think about what is it in this season that I want to be intentionally focused on for my own personal growth, for my family's growth, for my own sanity? I think one thing I'd like to do better at that I haven't really had a good chance to do here over the past month and a half is have those moments of silence and reflection. For a while there, I was really good about doing that in the mornings, getting my cup of coffee before anybody woke up. And I love that, getting up at like 5 or 5:30 while everybody's sleeping and just sitting by myself with my cup of coffee. Maybe I'm watching a YouTube video. Maybe I'm just doing some skincare or something. But that time to just sit and be still, I'm never really still. Like, who am I kidding? It's hard for me to just sit there and stare at a wall. Maybe I should do that. But still in the sense that it's something self-indulgent and slow paced. I guess that's what I mean. Like still is relative. I don't stay still. I can't stay still. I'm constantly doing and moving. That's one thing I'd like to do. I would also like to be a little bit more intentional about smelling the flowers, if you know what I mean. Y'all, I'm always talking about my age. I'm 49. I'm halfway through my 49th year around, 49th trip around the sun, as we like to say. Pause. I'm taking this to do the inner corner thing, so I'll do that with the color Aura. What a pretty name, Aura, which is just like the shifty metallic one here. But I'm going to be 50. And if I don't stop to smell the flowers now, I used to be much better about that in my youth, surprisingly. Isn't that shocking? Like in my 20s, I was much better about pausing and smelling a flower, literally, enjoying a path of ants, going to build their little anthill, appreciating a bird in a tree, appreciating the shape of the clouds, marveling at kids playing sports, or whatever the thing is that caught your attention that you wanted to give a little bit of attention and intention to and just be in the moment with it. I used to be much better about that than I am now. And I want to do that. I do that in my home because I love my home. So there are parts of my home that I either look at or stand in and just feel serene. But I'd love to do that a little bit more in the outside world, like in nature or while I'm in traffic. I don't go out a whole lot, but when I do, even at like Costco, yo, we have Friday night date nights at Costco like twice a month, my husband and I. Yes, we've reached that pathetic point in our lives that going to Costco is like a date night. We go to Costco and then we like to go to Texas Roadhouse. Don't judge me. They have really great deals on Friday nights and get ourselves a nice steak and a salad and enjoy that. And then there's a lot of other beautiful restaurants here in the Richmond area, but we don't like to go far from home. Like there's a place called, well, I don't want to tell you that because then I'll be like revealing where I live, and that's kind of creepy for the internet purposes. But let's just say there are some nice restaurants that are locally owned that we also enjoy on those nights too. So there you go. I want to take some more time to just kind of smell the roses, so to speak. I also want to get back into my audiobook game. I have been stuck on this one audiobook. I'm so stuck on it. I don't even know what the heck it's called. I will put the thumbnail of it or the cover of it here on audiobook. I'm so backed up. I have Audible, the app, and you have credits every month. I'm like 11 credits behind or ahead or whatever. I haven't used 11 credits, which is ridiculous because I'm paying for it every month. But I'm so stuck on this one audiobook. And I, for a while there, as you know, if you've been with this channel for a while, loving my audiobooks. So I'd like to get back to that. Okay, so then we're talking about taking a moment in the morning for yourself, or maybe even at night. That's one thing. Smelling the roses more, figuratively, and then also audiobooks. That's 3 things. I have to throw in a 4th. I really need to get back to some strength training. I haven't been good about that, and it's showing on my body because I've been, caught up in other things and just not paying enough attention to it. But I really need to do better at like lifting weights, especially in these middle-age years of my life. There are doctors I follow on YouTube. Like, is her name Gabrielle Lyon? Yes, right? Her and her colleagues, like that whole cohort of women that are very into strength training, and they advocate that muscle is the organ of longevity. Meaning, if you keep yourself in good physical muscular shape, it affects all the other hormone systems, everything else in your body, basically, all of your other systems that keep your body as youthful as possible and functioning optimally. So I'd like to get back to some strength training and give myself a better chance at aging well. Does that make sense to you? How are you about that? Do you strength train? What do you do? Do you do physical exercise? One, don't lie. Be honest. Put in the comments, I'm a couch potato, a proud couch potato. Or if you are a gym goer, like I know one of our friends here, and I hope this is okay to say that, Karina, hey girl, hey, she lifts, and I love her little like avatar thing. It's not an avatar, her little photo. She's lifting in it, and I'm like, go girl, girl strength, woman strength. So she's a lifter. What do you do? Do you lift? Do you walk? Do you do nothing? Do you garden? Do you keep yourself active all day? Because there's that too, and that counts too. Movement in general counts. So I'll leave it at that in terms of those things. Let's see what's happening with the eyes here. How are we feeling? Is that good enough? I think I want to deepen the corner. So let's do a little bit of that, and then we will call it a day on this look here and move along. And I think for that, I'm going to be a little bold. I hope I don't mess up the look, but I'm going to use this, which is actually a shimmer shade in the corner. And that's called Varus. I don't freaking know. Let's see. Looks like that. Let's see. What are y'all thinking about this palette? Is it of interest to you? I almost bypassed this because I was like, I don't need it, but it's so pretty. I really do like it. So that's what's been happening in my life. Our kids are getting older. We have two that are in the later years of high school and an older son who's out in the working world, and it's like, that happened. They're not babies anymore. I know what I wanted to tell y'all. Let's go back to social media. Remember in previous videos, I've talked about curating your social media so that it's bringing you joy instead of stress. Well, one of the things I have actively done, especially with Facebook, is stopped unfollowing groups. I have unfollowed, stopped following, unfollowed groups that are filled with people that need extra validation, that want to use the group as therapy, that just have issues. I mean, this sounds cruel and cold, but I only have so much room in my life to deal with other people's drama. And I limit that to the people that I really care about and want to help. Everybody else, I don't have time for their drama. I just can't. I cannot deal with everything happening in my life, helping the people that need help that I care about and want to help, and also reading people's drama on social media. I have to block them or leave the group or whatever. And an example of that, and then I'll tell you the part I really want to get to. I ended up joining these two groups that I thought would be fun and cutesy. One is called, I think it's just called Introverts. And then there's another group that was about introverts, but it wasn't called that. I forget what it was called. And I thought, oh, this could be fun. We could have a good chuckle with each other about what it means to be introverted and all the ways that we love to just avoid people. And I thought it was going to be fun. And then next thing I know, people are posting their sob stories on there and their childhood dramas and traumas. And I'm like, I cannot hear about how you were abused as a child. First of all, it breaks my heart. Two, I can't do anything to help the person. All I can do is empathize. And three, it leaves me feeling angry that there are people that have had to experience those things in this world. And that's not me closing my eyes to the fact that those things happen. It's me choosing when I let that kind of energy into my life. And I really firmly believe social media is not the place for that. Those are things that you talk about. My own opinion. You can feel however you feel about it, and hopefully we can still be friends. Those are things that are talked about in trusted spaces with people who care about you, not with millions of strangers who really don't care. So I don't know, it just leaves me feeling drained and sad and depressed in ways that's not why I go to social media. So I've unfollowed those groups and those people. I've not allowed them, I hide them, on Facebook, and the few times that I'm on Instagram. I'm not really on Instagram that much anymore. And what I've replaced it with, and I love this. Oh my God. You want to talk about something that brings you joy? I love babies. I said it. I love little newborn babies. I love little toddlers. I love watching parents lovingly interact with them. It brings me joy to see little baby toes and fingers and things, and your little sweet smiles and all the little faces that newborns make and those kinds of things. And the way that, social media algorithms work is the more you watch those things, the more it feeds those things to you. It's like the law of attraction, except in algorithm form. And I gravitate toward that. So I've been following groups and people who feature their sweet little babies. I mean, some folks have lots of feelings about sharing pictures of babies and things like that on social media. I get it. I totally understand. But I know where my heart and my intentions are. And I'm so glad that there are people who are willing to show us those sweet little toes and fingers and those little bellies and those little giggles. Right around, I think it's about, is it 3 months in? I might be imagining that. Maybe it's more like 5 to 6 months in. Babies have these delicious, hearty, whole body laughs, these giggles, these chuckles that they just make the world okay. That I love. So I've been watching a lot of that. I've been following people who celebrate the successes of other people in their lives. Not that there's not a place and space for all of that other stuff too, but when you see a lot of that, the horrors and abuse and the loneliness and the whatever of the world, it makes you feel like that's all that there is. And I don't like that. I can't deal with that. My mind cannot process that in ways that are healthy. So I have to, for my own sanity, stay away from that. I know it's out there and it makes me sad that I can't hug everyone and make their life all better. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. I think this is the eye look. Oh, I guess we should put some eyelashes on. Let's do that. And then let's do blush and lipstick. Hang on. I can't believe we're this far into the video, and I haven't even told y'all any of the things I wanted to tell y'all that I plan to talk with y'all about. I was going to talk about my packing situation and how I've gotten so much better with my travel packing and all of the new products that I got and all of that. I wanted to chat with y'all about what I packed, the kind of clothing. Maybe another time, friends. Maybe another time. I have all these things. But so on my cheeks, I used this palette is everifying. This This is the Tiger Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette from Hourglass. I think, did this come out this past winter or the winter before? That's how crazy time is to me. Maybe it was just 6 months ago. And I love this color, which, look at all these fingerprints. So friggin' nasty. This orangey, like fiery reddish orange color on the cheeks that has like a built-in highlight in it, which is fabulous. So I mixed that up a little bit with that and put that on my cheeks. Love that color. And then I just have some lip liner on right now. This is Bare Minerals in the color Striking Spice. My eyes are so old. I'm like, what color is that? Striking Spice. Oh, I did put some fake lashes on. I haven't put mascara on, but I do have fake lashes on. So I'm trying to decide between two lipsticks. Do I want to go very, very nudie like this? That almost seems wrong. This is Natasha Denona. Let's see what color. No, that's not going to work. This is I Need a Nude in the color Andrea. Maybe let's put that in the middle and see. That ain't going to be it. That ain't the right tone. And then I have this Gucci. Y'all know I love these Gucci Velvet Matte Lipsticks in the color Janet Rust, which is a good old like standby when you want a reddish orangey lip. You don't want totally red, you don't want totally orange, you want something sort of in between. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. So here is the look. Have I told y'all? I know I have in other videos, but for those of you that are newer and or haven't seen one of those videos in a long time, this product looks gross. But if you like to do fake lashes, I don't do them often. I do them when I film or if I'm going to a special event or something because they're a lot of hassle. Sephora sells this open thing like this crimper. Look at the color difference, y'all. This is like pale girl Casper the Ghost compared to this. So I'm gonna have to film like this today. If you watch my other channel and you see me doing like one of these numbers, you'll know it's because I don't want to show the paleness of my arms. But this allows you, if you like big lashes, which on occasion I do, to go in and crimp them together without having to stuff your eyelash into one of the smaller ones, eyelash curlers that has the edges on them. This is golden, y'all. I think I put this eyelash on the right too far down. Like it tends to drag the eye down if you have the eyelash going all the way to the edge. But I got lazy today and I did not want to cut the lashes and I wanted to put them on super quick. So hold on. Maybe I can come in from this side. Yeah, that's better. So that's it. That's what we're looking like. Let me try to fluff out this hair. I did wash it today. I put product in it. I curled it. It looked fantastic when I curled it. And then the curls did what? They went on vacation. They were like, you're on your own today, girl. We are not accompanying you today. The curls are on strike. So yeah, look at this. Hold on. I keep all of my sugar packets back there to do this with. And it takes care of that excess. So should have done that earlier. So this is the look. What do y'all think? It's nice to be back on this channel. Thanks for being patient while I got my life together. One of the reasons that I still post on the other channel is just because it's usually easier to do content there than here, where like my mind and heart is even more invested in the content of this channel. Whereas there, it's easy breezy, light, fun, perfume talk. It's a completely different vibe. So I hope that you understand. This one takes a lot of sort of heart to film content that you think, first of all, you want to film and that people may be interested in watching because you never know like what's going to strike someone else's fancy. Anyway, that's the idea. Okay, good. We're good. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all take good care. Y'all take good care.